Hello again, everybody. This is Rocket Rick J18 coming to you from the launching pad. And I want to show you some cards from the 1951 Berk Ross set that I'm working on. And I have 14 cards to show you, so I've been pretty busy here lately. Um, and I'm closing in on on the set. I still have a couple of big cards to get, namely the Ben Hogan card, which is kind of expensive, and I think there's probably one or two others that are going to cost a little bit too. So uh, progress may slow down on that quite a bit here in the next little bit. So hey, well, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get to. All right. So the first card I'm going to show you is a football player, and it happens to be Arnold Galiffa. And Arnold is from Western Pennsylvania. Um, he played at Army and was part of that run of great players from Army, Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard, and guys like that. Um, So at age 23, in 1951, I believe, is when he became an AP All American, and really actually quite glad to have his card. Um, I was particularly interested in getting Arnold's card because I saw for the first time I saw this card on uh, Terry McIntyre's channel, TJ Mac, uh, vintage cards and nostalgia. And Terry's become a good friend, and we talk, well, for me, fairly often. Uh, and I told him that I knew from my days in college days, 50 some years ago, that West Virginia University had a quarterback named Bernie Galiffa. And it turns out that Arnold is was Bernie's uncle. So there was a connection there, both from Western Pennsylvania. Arnold was from Denora. I think Bernie may have been from the same area, if not the same town. So that's pretty interesting. And uh, anyway, I just thought the whole thing was interesting. So there's there's Arnold. Of course, he went on to have his army time, and then after graduation. So anyway, that's a kind of a entertaining little tidbit. Um, so the next cards are a few cards are football players. Also, there's four of them altogether, including Arnold. Here is Notre Dame's All American, Emil Sitko. So they didn't all use the Heisman pose, at this time. uh, but that's pretty. That's about as close as any of these is going to get. So there's the backside. 5'8", 180 pounds for a fullback. Amazing. And here is Rodney Franz from University of California. He's a little bigger, 6'1", 215. Uh, he does look a little bigger. So that's Rodney Franz. And just to remind you, these cards were issued in boxes, and they came in 4 separate boxed sets. Uh, 18 cards in a box for a total of 72 cards. 40 of those were baseball cards, and the other 32 are different sports. And these are all not all of them, but these are the football players that I have. Pay no attention to any prices on any of these. I always uh, reuse the top loaders. So this one is Charles Justice from the University of North Carolina, and at age 26 he was 5'10" and weighed 165, and he was a halfback also. So there's the football players. Here's a hockey player, and this is Bill Quackenbush from the Boston uh, Boston Bruins. Defenseman, born in 1922. Here's Bill Quackenbush. Uh, Here's a couple of baseball players. We have Russ Meyer, pitcher for the Phillies from the 1950 season. Russ won 9 and lost 11. And here's Hank Bauer, who was a New York Yankee outfielder, 6 feet, 185 pounds. Hank was a regular uh, outfielder for the Yankees, kind of bridging the gap between uh, Charlie Keller and Joe DiMaggio and Tommy Henrik. And then we had, Gene Woodling and Hank Bauer and Mickey Mantle a little bit later. So here's the two baseball players. Uh, here's a tennis player, Margaret DuPont from Bellevue, Delaware. She lives at Bellevue Hall. That's a DuPont mansion in Newcastle County, Delaware. And Margaret was quite a tennis player in her day. They were dressed a bit more modestly than today, all the lycra and form-fitting outfits. Here's a basketball player. This is Dick Schnitger from Ohio State, 6'5", 207. And there's Dick. Here's a couple ice skaters. Some of you who are as old as I am will remember that Dick Button was an Olympic gold medalist, I believe, from Englewood, New Jersey. I think he won an Olympic medal, I think in 1940 1948, maybe. Not exactly sure when, because 1950 was his U.S. championship, uh, won in London, World Championship, I should say. So that's Dick Button. And here's also Tyvonne Claire Sherman from Jackson Heights, New York. And she won the United States National Single Figure Skating Champion. Back in these days, I think Peggy Fleming might have been maybe not the last one, but wouldn't have been too many. Dorothy Hamill, I think, also did participated in the figure skating competition where they actually had to trace figures. They'd perform the one figure, and then whatever it was, then they would have to retrace it several times without any deviation or change, and they down to where they actually looked at the marks in the ice made by the skates, and that's how they told how well they were doing. They don't do it anymore. I don't know. It's boring, and I guess, and not nearly as exciting as watching the speed skaters crash all over the place. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So that's Yvonne Sherman. Here's a couple of boxers. One is Ike Williams, who won the Lightweight National Boxing Association Championship in 1947 when he knocked out Bob Montgomery in Philadelphia. So that's Ike Williams. And then we have two more boxers that are considerably better known than Ike Williams. This guy, if you've ever seen the movie Raging Bull with Robert De Niro, this is the fighter, Jake LaMotta. Um, and the most notable thing about Jake LaMotta is he was known for his ability to take a punch. And he fought all of the great middleweights of that time period. Won the title by defeating Marcel Cerdan in Detroit in 1949. And he also fought Sugar Ray Robinson, fought other middleweights from that time period. And so that's Jake LaMotta. Put him over here. And I already mentioned the other guy, Sugar Ray Robinson. I've heard it said, and I'm not an expert in boxing, although I've watched a lot of boxing, especially years ago. Heard it said that pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the best fighter that ever lived. And there have been some great ones, but he was certainly one of the best. He had some legendary fights with a couple of other guys like Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano. Rocky Graziano used to come on the Merv Griffin show quite often back in the day, and he was kind of known as a comedian as well as a fighter, and he fought I believe three absolutely legendary fights with Tony Zale. Tony Zale worked in a steel mill and fought as a professional, but he didn't make enough money in those days to support a family, so he worked in a steel mill up in Cleveland, and was another guy who could really he could punch and he could take a punch. And he and Graziano had some really knockdown, drag out fights, which Tony Zale won two of them and lost one. Graziano won that one. So there's Jake LaMotta and Sugar Ray Robinson from the 1951 Berk Ross set, and I'll give you an update on how much progress that I'm making and how many cards I have to go. But I think it's probably still around 15 or so. But I have my book put away for the Strongsville trip, so I don't have it here to show you, but go through those. But that's what I have for you today, and I'm really pleased with the progress on this set, and I think it's a lot of fun, um, and it's a set that I can realistically finish without spending a terrible amount of money. The Joe DiMaggio card is without a doubt the most expensive. Um, the Ted Williams is in the 52 set, but not the 51 set, and the Mickey Mantle is in the 52 set, but not the 51 set, and so same with Willie Mays, some other guys that pretty good ball players, but really the only one that's really expensive is the Joe DiMaggio, and his card's not that expensive. I mean, you can pick one up for less than $500, which there aren't very many Joe DiMaggio cards available for $500 or less. Um, and so, but that's what I have to show you, and I appreciate you coming along this journey with me. If you have a chance to, and you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd appreciate you hit the subscribe button and the like button. All of that stuff helps, and you can hit the bell and get notifications on when I post new videos. Um, and that's the fun part. And mostly, the biggest reason why I do this is because it's fun for me. I mean, if it wasn't, I think I probably would get something else, uh, find something else to do. Play tiddlywinks or something. But I probably wouldn't be making videos if it wasn't fun. So that's what I have for you. So this is Rocket Rick J from the launching pad, and wishing all your collecting dreams come true.